G'day everyone! I want to play a game with you all today. I'm going to say a name, and I want you to think about how that name makes you feel. Are you ready? Here's the name. Christopher Columbus. Now, depending on your political outlook, Chris Columbus can either be a literal hero or a villain. He can make you really proud and patriotic or really angry. The textbook view of Christopher Columbus is that he was a cool explorer who's discovered America, but he was also a bit of a douche because he enslaved and mutilated and flogged and executed without trial a lot of the population of what is now Haiti and the Dominican Republic. So one name, Christopher Columbus, can mean two totally different things and give you two totally different emotions depending on your outlook. So now let's play this game again, and I'm going to give you another phrase. Are you ready? Climate change. Now, the politics of climate change are well documented. If you're a Democrat and I say climate change, it probably made you feel like worried about the future, proud of the discoveries of science, and like thinking about ways that we can make the world more sustainable. If you're a Republican and I say climate change, it probably make you think those damn scientists who don't know what they're doing and China has got a hoax on us all. Views about climate fall pretty much exactly along the political spectrum. When a group was asked, can climate scientists be trusted to give accurate information, only about 15% of conservative Republicans said yes, compared to 70% of liberal progressive Democrats. So you can see it's a pretty big margin depending on what side of the political spectrum you sit on. So when one phrase, climate change, has this completely different meaning to two groups, it's got what's called a branding problem. And this happens a lot, both in the corporate world, but also in the political world. So for example, Philip Morris. They sell cigarettes and they're well known for selling cigarettes, but they also have a number of other companies. And so to protect their non-cigarette stuff, they had to rebrand the name of their company and get a new logo, and they became Altria in 2003 so that people wouldn't hate the company. Steve Jobs changed Apple computers to just Apple before he launched the iPod. Anti-abortionists deliberately rebrand themselves as pro-life instead of anti-abortion, and pro-abortionists call themselves pro-choice. They're both pro something that sounds good. Shell shock has been renamed post-traumatic stress disorder in recent times. It's more accurate of how one gets it and how it can be treated. Those are some examples from the corporate world, but we do it a lot in politics as well. So for example, the Affordable Health Care Act was rebranded by the Republicans as Obamacare to make Republicans hate the idea of universal health care that would benefit them. During World War I, the German Shepherd was renamed the Alsatian by the British, who hated the Germans. And during 2003, when the French objected to the war in Iraq, we started to rebrand French fries as freedom fries. And oops, I used the wrong name there. Bush chose to rebrand the entire war in Iraq as the War on Terror to make it more politically palatable to mainstream America. So rebranding is done a lot of the time for a lot of reasons. If we're serious about getting the Republican Party and the conservatives in America to support action on climate change, we need to stop using the phrase climate change. It has really negative associations that no amount of facts or data or information are ever going to solve. So what do we call this thing climate change? Well, a lot of people are talking about actions on climate change that sound really good, like supporting energy independence or renewable energy. They sound like things that are cool. But we could also rename the whole idea of climate change to something that's more accurate. I suggest human-caused climate instability. It's more accurate. It tells you that it's caused by humans, and it more accurately reflects the output of climate change. Because when you talk about climate change, we kind of think of weather, but when you talk about climate instability, we think of things like storms and hurricanes and stuff that is going to happen because of climate change. So ultimately, we know that climate change has a really big problem, and the scientific community needs to stop trying to tell people, here are the facts, and start rebranding and tapping into the power of marketing. I don't know why we've never managed to do this, but time's really running out on convincing the public. We know we're doing a terrible job. We're gonna have to do something drastic, and we're gonna have to do it soon. What do you guys think? Do you think human-caused climate instability is a good name for climate change? Have you seen any others? What do you think of rebranding in general? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Hi everyone, I'm Jade Lovell, resident science nerd on the Young Turks Network. You're watching SciQ, and we know you don't want to miss an episode, so please click the subscribe button down below.